Hello and welcome back to Heads Will Roll Reforged. So, we have a couple of extra quests. So, these quests right here, if you've seen the previous series, you'll know exactly what these are all about. Basically, we have to go to 3 different regions, and we have to try to convince the people, the lords, whoever is there, to assist us, or to assist Earl Northampton more accurately. Otherwise, what we have to do is this. We need to assist Alyssa in assembling the Greenwich militia and transfer 3 squad members who are above the 5th level and have survived at least 3 battles to her. Now, unfortunately for me, I have made some pretty big mistakes in that regard because I didn't realize that this was actually going to be a quest. So it may very well be that I might not even be able to do this. But anyway, what we're going to do is we are going to go over to Chippenham first. The residence of the Marquis of Radcliffe, Chippenham Castle, is located west, or shall we say far west of the capital, bordering the Welsh wilderness. Not only have you never been to these places, but you also don't even know anything about them, except perhaps for the fact that these lands are rather poor and surrounded by total wilderness. Reflecting on Northampton's unwillingness to share any information about Radcliffe and his isolated place of abode, you grow more convinced that it's improbable that the Marquis willingly selected Chippenham as his residence. The journey goes quickly while you're absorbed in your thoughts. You find yourself on the outskirts of Chippenham before long. Alright, so basically, we're going to get ambushed by this guy. And this guy is indeed a bandit. Yes, if you have played or indeed seen my other route, the, what is it now? The British civilian route. That is the one where you meet Jones. And basically they're going to say, you can't come here, you can't come here. And they actually killed the guy. They killed the lord that was, taking ownership of this place. And as you can see, Duncan, but wasn't he supposed to be executed at Greenwich just a couple of weeks ago? I saw him burn at the stake with my own eyes. He gets caught and executed somewhere almost every week. Old man Radcliffe caught him at least 3 times, hanged him twice, and quartered him once. Duncan personally severed one of the Marquis's limbs for each of those 3. Do I need to specify which one of them now is lying in a grave? The Marquis, I suppose. You guessed it. He's a dangerous person, that Duncan. He's the one who's now calling the shots around here, so show some respect when you mention his name. Okay, I want to meet with Duncan. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to make a business proposition with him. We're going to pay the 150 florins, or 250 shall we say, and these demands are acceptable. Virtue lowered by 50, and there we are. Okay, perfect. So we are now good. You can see here the Earl is very, very pleased. My virtue is very, very low. I'm kind of wondering whether I can go to Greenwich now and speak to Alyssa. Ah, here we go. You tell Alyssa about your trip to Chippenham and a meeting with Duncan. With each word you say, her face darkens and her eyes become increasingly bloodshot. Bloody bastard. I can't believe it. So not only is he alive, although I saw him burn at the stake with my own eyes, but he's also managed to take over Chippenham and become the Marquis there. Unbelievable. I shall not let this stand. We shall not let this stand. Despite his past, Duncan is now effectively a full-fledged Marquis, and both the Earl and the Prince see him as a valuable ally in the war against Canterbury. And showdowns between allies during the war are a bad idea. Are you serious? This man tried to kill me and my family, as well as loot and burn my home. After miraculously escaping justice at Greenwich, he proceeded to perpetrate atrocities at Chippenham and took the life of a Marquis there, appropriating his castle land and title. Devil only knows what else he has in mind and where he'll turn his murderous gaze tomorrow. And there's certainly no guarantee that his men won't appear here again one day with weapons in their hands. Yes. Yet you're suggesting we just forget everything he's done. I won't feel at peace as long as I know Duncan is still alive. I understand you, but is there anything we can do now? I know how you feel, but the circumstances are not on our side right now. Calling Duncan to account would mean declaring war on one of our own allies. Everyone in Oxford would be jumping for joy. You underestimate me. I'm not a fool to demand that you sabotage the campaign against Canterbury with another war on the home front. Instead, I propose to deal with Duncan in one precise strike, and if all goes well, to replace him with someone more favorable. favorable for us. As far as I can tell from your story, Northampton and Prince Edward are in no position to be picky about allies. They need soldiers for the war, and as long as Chippenham supplies them with those soldiers, they won't care much about who is running the place. So in the end, if we pull it all off carefully, we can settle scores with Duncan, put our own man in the Marquis's chair, and at the same time avoid incurring the Prince's wrath. You are a master of sweet talk, Alyssa, and in theory your plan does look quite feasible. But I'm afraid it all is going to be much more complicated in practice. How exactly are we supposed to deliver a precise strike to someone hiding behind the walls of a guarded castle? Where do we find our own man, whom we can then make the new Marquis? All this sounds like a large venture. Hey, cheer up. Those not taking risks get no burgundy for their fair wives to drink. You're not blind, so depose me, and should be able to see it all for yourself. Northampton and Edward are spinning like a weather vane in the wind. Yesterday they needed my father's favor, so you were assigned to run around me. Today Duncan became important to them, so all his yesterday's transgressions, including those committed against me and my father, were immediately forgotten. The same will happen to you. You get the bare minimum, crumbs from their table, and even that is only because they need your sword now. As soon as Canterbury is defeated and the young prince is comfortably settled on the throne, you will be forgotten and discarded like an old useless toy. Your cunning and courage helped them drive the rebels from London, and what did you get in return? The right to your own banner and a handful of coins that won't even get you a good set of armor? You're a great soldier, but if you don't want to be someone's errand boy for the rest of your life, you need to start thinking with your head. I won't let them exploit you for a pittance. Now, regarding Duncan, the late Marquis of Chippenham had a quite extensive family with dozens of close and distant relatives scattered throughout the south of the kingdom. The Marquis was not known for his generosity, so many of his kin are likely to lead quite poor lives. All we need to do is find one of them, preferably someone not too adequate, and make him an offer he can't refuse. And then, once Duncan has been dealt with, declare him the rightful heir to the Marquis, restoring the deposed dynasty on its rightful domain. The new Marquis, ideally some drunkard second uncle of the late one, will keep drinking quietly but in his own apartment and surrounded by servants. The actual governance of Chippenham will be handled by us through one of my men assigned to the new Marquis, and after the end of the war in a year or two, our new Marquis may well suddenly die of an exacerbation of some disease, after leaving behind a will, of course. Anyway, don't worry about it, I'll think it all through. You've got solely military matters at hand. Devise a plan to infiltrate Duncan's residence without a long siege and begin preparations. Let me know when everything's ready. I'll take care of the rest. Okay, so here we go. This might actually be the first quest on the road to becoming king. However, and this is a pretty big however here, this is the reason why it is very, very recommended to have a couple of virtue trinkets equipped at this point. Because if you have 2 virtue trinkets that have minus 30 virtue each, you basically have minus 60 virtue, right? So if you have 100 virtue and you then get minus 60, that's 40, right? And then you get minus 50 from what we've just done. Generally, that's still going to be what we have right here, which is minus 10. However, and this is a pretty big however here, in the various, shall we say, decisions that you're going to make in this portion of the game, anything that you can do to gain virtue at that point is going to be useful. Because what's going to happen is, if you then gain another 50 virtue just by doing random stuff, and this is all theoretical on my part, by the way, because I don't actually know whether this is going to happen or not, but let's just say that I'm correct, okay? Let's just assume that I'm actually speaking sense here. And basically what we do is we try to get to 40 virtue, and then we would unequip those things to be able to pass the virtue checks that are going to come later on. So unfortunately for me, it does look as though we are going to have some issues, because we do need that pretty badly. So I'm actually not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do. How am I supposed to deal with this? This is going to be interesting. I guess I'll go to Chippenham. As you ponder the assignment received from Melissa, memories of your visit to Chippenham come to mind. The Marquis's residence is a medium-sized castle, fortified, but still not mighty enough to be a truly impregnable citadel. Taking it by storm seems like a doable task, especially in case of defenders' small numbers or low competence. But otherwise, if the castle suddenly turns out to be well defended, a lightning assault would be out of the question. You delve deeper into your memory and recall crossbowmen on the walls and towers, as well as some generally capable-looking guards at the gates. After some estimations, you figure that with about 50 men with experience in siege warfare under your command, such defense could be overcome with a swift frontal assault. Another option that occurs to you last is a covert infiltration. If you can find someone among the inhabitants of the castle who would be willing to open the side gate under the cover of darkness and let you in, the matter could be solved with a very small force. The only difficulty lies in finding this most mysterious resident of Chippenham who may have an axe to grind with Duncan. However, no matter what option you choose, as long as Windsor is controlled by Canterbury's men, withdrawing troops from under its walls, even a very small number, is a terrible idea. So before you storm this fortress, you'll have to deal with the other one first. Right. Okay, so that basically says to you every single thing you need to know. Okay, so I think the best course of action would be for us to go to Cambridge first. So that's what we're going to do. He refuses to see us. Okay, well, that's... Okay. In other words, we need to deal with Windsor first to be able to do that. Alright, okay, so basically we just need to go here and actually just win, right? Actually just win. This is going to be really, really difficult for us because my squad members need to survive 3 battles. I mean, I guess I technically could do it, right? I technically could go in there and actually potentially win. Let's go to Hadley. Let's see if this is going to work. We might be able to. Yeah, no, okay, yeah, no, this is good. Yeah, I'm going to tell him off. Okay, yeah. So this is what I wanted to do because I want to get 3 battles under our belt. So let's see if we can actually win this. Okay. Yeah, this guy's obviously poison. Oh, wait a minute. My squad isn't actually joining me here? Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's kind of weird, I guess. Okay, that guy's dead instantaneously. That's wonderful. They're already doing damage to me. That's kind of weird. Alright, not a big fan of that, I gotta say, but alright. There we go, that guy's dead. Yeah, no offense, but this weapon is so incredibly good. I am loving this weapon. Thank you very much for suggesting it in the first place. Very, very enjoyable to use. And we're going to search these guys, of course. We're going to search them because we definitely want to make as much money as possible, of course. And I might as well take this just in case. I am not going to take the bolt. There we go. Okay. So unfortunately, it doesn't look as though our squad is joining us here. This guy is literally not... He doesn't really know what he's up against, I think. As you can quite clearly see, I am absolutely just destroying him. And he is already dead. And there you have it. And we gained some weapon skill. And wow, that was actually the first time I have even done that. And there is... Wait a minute. Look. There it is. There it is. There's one of the virtue trinkets that we would have needed to be able to do this particular route. Which I still think is probably maybe not possible now, but we'll see. Having dealt with the soldiers at the outpost, you press on. A few more hours on the road pass, and you finally find yourself at the base of Castle Hadley. Alright. Yeah. Much to your surprise, the soldiers granted passage to the... Yeah, exactly. So, basically, what you can do is we're gonna head towards the outpost, and... Oh, you have to flee? Oh no, are you serious? I thought I could just go in there. I thought I could just go in there and fight them, but apparently not. Okay, that's interesting. So, Okay. So basically what I need to do is I need to wear... oh yeah, I don't have the plague mask. Yep. I don't have the plague mask because I didn't do Cecilia's quest. I could find the plague mask potentially, but... Ooh, yeah, no, I've messed up this route really, really badly. I feel bad about that. Okay, yeah, I think we probably won't be able to do this either. Oh, I don't know. Ah, it's, oh, this is, yeah, this is a big deal. Alright, well, I'm not entirely sure. The Plague Mask, I don't think is going to be available through the marketplace, or at least I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. And, yeah, I think it is only available through Cecilia's quest. Potentially, at least. I think this is also going to be useful potentially as well. We're just going to sell that, sell this. Yeah, this is... I don't think it is actually available through the marketplace. So I am probably just going to have to do Windsor as it is, just how we are right now, and just see what happens, I guess, you know, just literally go for it. Yeah, that seems to be the only thing I can really think of to do. I have already killed Goliath. As you can see, this gave me no level ups, which is really bad. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna train a little bit. I'm gonna train in coordination. Okay, that's actually the maximum that I can train it, so that's wonderful. And then we can basically just spam a little bit of vitality here. The brothel is really good, by the way. The brothel is a full heal with your fatigue. However, it does technically sometimes increase your toxicity, and so you have to go to the physician and, you know, deal with that. But yeah, that's not really that big a deal, I suppose. Anyway, let's do this. There we go. That's my last strength point. Let's gamble once, and there we have it. All right, so... yeah. Right, so... I mean, we could find an alternative way into Chippenham. Nope. Okay, no, that's not going to work either. Okay, so an alternative way? Is there actually an alternative way? No, it doesn't seem like it. Alright, okay, fine. We're just going to go to Windsor then. That's all we're going to do. That's all I can do, really. Unless, no, I don't think Alyssa has anything for me. Oh, okay, wait. You catch Alyssa in an upbeat mood, which, after all the hard conversations you've had in the last few days, is a pleasant surprise. Seeing her once again happy, energetic, and clearly knowing what to do, you start to feel a little lighter too. It is all just as we wanted. Aldous Mortimer is a second uncle of John Mortimer, the late Marquis of Radcliffe, from whom Duncan snatched the castle. Old Aldous lives in London and frequents multiple city pubs. Before John Mortimer's disgrace, he had been a rather prosperous merchant, but the old king, after his conflict with John, had gone through their entire family with fire and sword. John went into exile to Chippenham, while Aldous and a few other relatives were bankrupted, in favor of the royal treasury, naturally. Today, the poor fellow is mostly drinking away and being busy doing that, what little is left of his fortune, and slowly losing his human form. So we don't have much time. For Frenetis, I have no idea, might claim him any day now, judging by the stories. Sounds like the perfect Marquis candidate. I think so too. What about Duncan's elimination? Are you ready to act? I have several ideas. Excellent, then don't delay and get started right away. My men will handle all this and prepare him for his triumphant return to liberated Chippenham. I'll await your signal. Right, okay. Can I go back there now? No. Okay, so the only thing I can really do is just go straight on in. Here we go. Okay, I am going to assault the town. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not even going to sort it out. I am literally just going to go for it. Straight up. Just literally straight up here. Going to go defensive as much as possible. Going to kill the back line as fast as we can. That is going to be our main thing that we do. That guy is stunned. And this is going to take me a while. Let's just say that. This is definitely going to take me a while, and I'm actually going to be surprised if I even am able to do this in like the next 20 minutes or something. I think it's going to take quite some time. Alright, so I'm basically deciding that I'm going to retreat And I don't know how many we've killed, because I am pretty low right here. I've taken a lot of damage just from crossbowmen. Basically, just from crossbowmen. There we go. Okay, there's the there's the retreat. And we are going to get some pretty cool stuff. As you can see, we got a armor sleeve right here, which could be a nice replacement for us. This is a pretty nice helmet. Unfortunately, not as good as what we are currently wearing, so not really necessary. And everything else. Ooh. I'm wondering whether this is actually good. This might be kind of good to use in crafting. I do have a crafting piece that might be useful. But there you go. Yeah, so as you can see, they have 18 left. 18. And the funny thing is, if I had the redstone ring, I wouldn't have needed to retreat. So the first thing we want to do is go to the trade screen. Oh, there's a greenstone ring. The greenstone ring is not too bad. Yeah, but we're not really going to be taking much here. I did just check about the crafting, and the chest piece can't be combined with the thing that I wanted to combine it with, so yeah, kind of unfortunate. But yeah, well, it doesn't really matter too much. We're just gonna sell everything that we can, and we're pretty good, I guess. I mean, I actually don't know how this is gonna go now, because we're in a situation that I have not been in before, where we have, well, we are not in a great place, let's just say that. Which is kind of interesting. Very unusual for me, because I generally tend to do a lot of the things that we need to do to be able to progress in certain routes, but I completely forgot about the plague mask. That was one of the things that I didn't really think of, because I thought I was going to do the king route, and well, I mean, maybe we could still do the king route. It just very much depends. We're going to visit the brothel here. Oh, okay. Regular visits to a brothel leave their mark on you. Endurance increased by 1. Alright. Okay. Thank you very much for that. And we're just going to cleanse ourselves right there. And we are basically ready. Okay. Let's go. Alright. Yeah. So I have no squad members. Because they're all dead. Clearly, you know, they all died very, very easily, as you might expect. And we're basically just going to be targeting the crossbowmen. That's all we want to do. Every single day of the week, we just want to contact these crossbowmen with our pole axe, pole arm, whatever. You know, it's not really a pole axe, is it? But generally, we just want to eliminate that as fast as we can. The best way we could deal with this is just eliminating them, because they actually do a lot of damage. They do some really, really big damage, and thankfully I can get around pretty much every single piece of armor. I've had literal people that have had 5% chance to bypass their armor, and I am able to do that with this weapon. I'm not sure why, but I am apparently able to do that. I don't know. I don't know why that happens. I guess it's just the kind of weapon that it is. Maybe it's the ability that I'm using. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do the noble route. I mean, we would definitely need the plague mask. That's the thing that is going to give us the greatest chances of success, at least. I'm going to just take a strong ale here, just to make sure that we don't die. Well, not too easily, at least. And we'll just continue attacking right here. My critical strikes have actually been assisting us quite dramatically as well. I have gotten quite a few of them in this particular gauntlet, this marathon. And yeah, it's been pretty useful. It has been pretty useful. Unfortunately for me, though, yeah, the main problem, of course, is just that I'm taking random pieces of damage from everywhere. As you can see, look at this. I'm doing damage to this guy, even though I have a 5% chance to penetrate his armor, just because this weapon is just so good. Really, really useful in actual fact. Okay, there we go. Do that, kill him. And then we're just going to recover a huge amount. Going to use respite here. Look at my fatigue recovery. I'm literally recovering 40 fatigue every single time because I'm getting double procs. Absolutely amazing. Really, really powerful. Alright, so we have one last enemy to eliminate. And we are then done at Windsor. There we go. Fantastic. Whew. Okay, that was much more difficult than it had to be, but, you know, it needs to be done, you know? It needs to be done, and I didn't really want to take in more people that were going to get themselves killed really, really easily, so there you have it. Alright, so we're just going to move on. After a successful assault, you managed to capture Windsor in triumph, and there you go. Everyone has increased reputation with us. Great job. This Windsor gambit that Canterbury tried to pull off could have easily resulted in a disaster for us, but thanks to you, catastrophe has been averted. I would venture to say that this success easily surpasses all of your past failures. What failures? Of which there are a few. You mean, oh yeah, you're talking about the thing that we did in the previous episode. Okay, yeah, no, I understand that. In any case, we now hold the initiative. However, we mustn't become overly confident. The closer the dirty paw of royal justice gets to the tender udder of Canterbury's political ambitions, the more dangerous he will become. Something's telling me that he might still have a sleeve up his ace. I think that's mixed up. I think that is have an ace up his sleeve, but yes, we know what that is. I'm temporarily appointing you commandant of the town. Something tells me it will be safe under your watch. Organize the defense, and whenever possible, continue to gather troops, for there are no excess soldiers, especially now. As I already said, we hold the initiative now, but anything can be expected from Canterbury, so keep your eyes open. Alright, so we gained some experience, toxicity increased, that's absolutely fine. We have light blood loss for some reason as well. There we have it. Okay, so we have maxed out with pretty much everyone, which is great. The one problem that we're going to have now is I don't have that much time left, which is a bit of an issue, maybe? Is that a bit of an issue? I don't really know. Let's just heal ourselves because I don't really have the time to waste with resting. So let's go over to Greenwich and tell Alyssa. Okay, no, that doesn't do anything. Tell Alyssa about the situation in Hadley. Okay, about your failed attempt. After listening to you carefully, she makes a thoughtful face. If you can't get that directly, you might want to look for some alternative way. Remember the time you infiltrate... Yes. And who should I be to pretend to enter? The answer is on the surface. Yes, of course. So in other words, she's just giving you the hint that you need to use the plague mask. Go someplace to study the medical craft, Oxford, for example. Yeah. Dress as a healer. Yeah, well, that's the point. You're gonna need the plague mask to be able to make that work. Let's go to Chippenham now. Launch a frontal assault on the castle. Can we do that? Are we actually ready for that? My HP and stamina are not maxed out or anything like that, but I'm going to assume we're not fighting super hard enemies, right? Not enough militiamen. What? What do you mean, not enough militiamen? Okay, wait. Okay, let's have a look here. Gather militiamen. Hand over equipment. Oh, no. Oh, are they serious with this? Oh, dear. Okay. I'm not sure what kind of equipment he wants. I have no idea, actually, what kind of equipment he wants, but I am just going to buy some random things, and we're just going to see, because I have a huge amount of money, so I don't really care if I lose some. Yeah, no, all of this stuff counts. All of this stuff absolutely counts. So, let's do this. There we go. Fresh reinforcements are heading to Windsor. Oh, wow, this is utterly insane. Okay. Wow. Right. Yeah, this is really bad. I won't be able to do this. Mostly because I don't have enough militiamen. That's kind of weird. But yeah, as you can see, I just don't have enough weapons. That's pretty much it. I just don't have enough weapons. I don't have enough time, you know, basically I don't have enough of anything, to be honest, but there you go. All right. Yeah, so basically you need to give an equal amount of each thing. So basically if I give 2 shields, I need to give 2 weapons, 2 pieces of armor, 2 weapons. So weapons are going to be my main bottleneck here, which is going to be a huge problem. So I'm not sure how we're going to do this. This is not good. Let's just say that. This is not good in the least. I wonder, how many do we need to actually take Chippenham? Do we need 40 or something like that? I mean, we need something. We need like a whole bunch, actually. But yeah, oh wow. This is real bad. This is real bad. Okay. I did not want to be spending all this money. I guess it's not really that big of a deal, right? I guess it's not that bad. Broadsword, we're getting a lot of cool stuff here. Oh, that's expensive. Like, what? Okay, that is really expensive, some of these things. Okay. Let's do that. There we are, yes. Loads of weapons. There we are. Okay, so we now have 41. Is that enough? Is that enough? Oh, we can go to Bristol now? What is the thing in Bristol? Ah, that's where we go to see Ruffin. Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, we probably want to do that, don't we? Let's go to Chippenham first, though. Not enough militiamen. How many am I supposed to need? Do I need 50? I don't think I have enough time. I just don't have enough time to do any of this stuff. And there's no plague mask. I don't have a plague mask. Windsor? What if I go to Windsor? Okay, that doesn't really do anything. Is there someone else that I can actually speak to gain things? Ah, I think I understand. Before I talked to Alyssa, what I should have done was gone to Chippenham, talked to them about getting men, get some men, get the militiamen, right? And then talk to Alyssa before, you know, well, shall we say after doing that. That would have been the way to go. Okay, let's go to Bristol first. Okay, so Ruffin is going to be here. We could trade defensive equipment, trade weapons and stuff like that. So technically what we could do is we could just buy a huge amount of weapons and things if we wanted to. That might be kind of good, I guess. I mean, you know, the S-Stock is one of my favorite weapons. Yeah, I guess I'll just buy that. A winged spear. Yeah, this is all 150. I don't really want to spend 150 on this, but I guess I will. Defensive equipment. Ooh, we got some really amazing stuff right here. I might actually want to buy something here, but I don't know whether I should. I feel like my current limb cover is just not good enough, but look at the insane penalties. These are it's too high, right? Oh, I'm actually not sure. Let me just see my... How do I... Oh, I can't see my stats here? Oh, that's kind of annoying. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna buy it. I'm literally just gonna buy it because I feel like, hey, you know what? This is gonna be kind of nice. Ask about the second ship, and we're going to refuse. There we go. All right. Absolutely perfect. So we are now going to... we need armor. So, get this. This. I need 9 pieces of armor or whatever. I need like a lot, right? Yeah, this is real bad. You decide to take Chippenham by a determined frontal assault. After launching a diversionary attack with your main forces and waiting for the castle defenders to engage, you, with a small squad and a single siege ladder, rush towards the castle from the opposite side. This simple trick works. You manage to climb the wall unhindered and catch the few Duncan's men who were left to guard this side by surprise. All that is left for you is to deal with them before they can call for reinforcements. In other words, be very fast. Okay, so I'm going to kill them extremely quickly here. Let's do this. Nice critical strike instantaneously right there. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Kill this guy as well. I am just going to go all out. I am just going completely and utterly all out with every single bit of damage I have. There we go. It's kind of unfortunate that this guy is still here. Let's see, do I have a water skin? I do not have a water skin on me. That is very bad. Okay. Yeah, we are... there's probably a turn limit of 20, I assume? Oh no, never mind, we're actually fine. We are actually fine, this is the last guy. So, we should be good. Hopefully, hopefully. Cross your fingers, let's see. Do you loot the bodies? Sure. Why not? We kind of need all this stuff, which is actually hilarious. If I'd known that I was going to need all this stuff, this is exactly the point. Most of this game is just knowledge, you know? Most of the game is just knowledge, knowing what you need and knowing what you don't need. Very, very important. After lightning fast annihilation of the handful of Duncan's men defending this part of the wall, you burst inside the castle. Okay, so we were really, really quick, so that's wonderful. Okay, here we go. Once again, I am going to be extremely, extremely aggressive here. They are spamming shield bash on me. That's... oh, that is very annoying. That is very, very annoying. I am not a big fan. Can you just get out of the way, please? Thank you, thank you. Okay, I want to kill this guy in the front, actually, because he has a shield. So if we can eliminate him pretty fast, then he won't spam shield bash anymore. Or at least I hope not. Let's kill that guy in the back now as well. Hopefully our friend is going to kill this one in the front. Is he not? Nope, apparently not. Yeah, this is... oh, he did kill him. That's wonderful. He did actually take him out. He's dead now, unfortunately. Okay, that's fine. Wonderful. Let's search. Get the spear. Get this. Get the axe, shield, arming sword. I'm taking things that are no longer the most valuable to sell, but I'm taking things that are going to be useful to gaining more militiamen. As you move through the corridors and towers, you kill the sentries one by one. After a quarter of an hour, Chippenham Castle is almost under your control. Only Duncan's bodyguards, who guard the Marquis's private quarters, are able to offer some semblance of organized resistance. And here we go. These guys are going to be the hardest. I'm going to kill this guy in the front first because he has a shield. And I want to eliminate him as fast as we can. There we go. Yes, the shield. The shield is coming in handy. He's actually blocking with it. There we go. It's dead now. And now I can just leave him. I can just leave him the way he is right there. And he's not going to be able to stun me or anything like that. So all I need to do now is just relax. Let's just relax a little bit here, you know. But we do need to be quite quick, I think. Probably. Do we? I'm actually not entirely sure. It didn't say anything about being fast, but I'm going to assume we need to. There we go. And that's it. Do you loot the bodies? Yeah, sure. Get that. There we are. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Having dealt with the Marquis's bodyguards, you kick in the door to his chambers and rush inside, just in time to find yourself face to face with Duncan, who is dragging a heavy trunk towards a small side door. Sir, depose me, what a surprise! And I was just about to suggest you stop the bloodshed and talk, as befits a decent nobleman. He points to the trunk. Any problem can be solved with gold, right? Here, there are 20,000 florins. That should be enough to settle all our disagreements. He pushes the trunk in your direction with his foot and extends his hand for a handshake. We've got a deal? You shift your weapon to the left hand and accept Duncan's handshake. I'll take the money. Sighing with obvious relief, Duncan breaks into a smile. Well, that's great. You clench his hand in yours and yank him towards yourself, making him lose his balance and collapse to his knees beside you. And I'll take your life as well. He opens his mouth in an attempt to respond, but you preempt him by bringing the blade of your sword down on his neck and swiftly severing his head. And Chippenham, for the second time this year, loses its marquis. After capturing the castle and dealing with Duncan, you send a messenger to Alyssa, and the next day Chippenham meets its new marquis. A propaganda campaign launched by Alyssa through paid gossipers, innkeepers, and heralds spreads the rumors that pious Aldous Mortimer has returned to Chippenham not only to avenge his murdered relative, but also to finally bring peace and order to these lands. Exhausted by a long series of bloody confrontations, the locals accept the new authority with resignation, and Aldous' family ties to the late John Mortimer completely eliminate the question of its legitimacy. As for pious and wise Aldous, he proves to be docile and unassuming. Having changed the straw mattress of a cheap inn to the down feather bed of the Marquis's private quarters and cheap drinks from the tavern to imported wines, which can now also be consumed in a company of young minxes, he is completely content with life and immediately plays the role assigned to him. Alyssa's venture doesn't just work out, it works absolutely perfectly. Sitting in Chippenham's picturesque castle garden, you and Alyssa enjoy a bottle of wine recommended to you by Aldous. Savoring her glass, Alyssa mocks you, making her voice sound like a child's cry. Sounds like a large venture, and how shall we do that, and where shall we get this? If this kingdom ever gets a town by the name of Told You So, I should become its mayor. You were right about everything. I take it all back. That's better. Speaking of the kingdom, who do you think is the most powerful man in England right now? Well, let's see. I think no matter what we answer, she's probably going to say that we are. Because she's behind us. What do you think? Gonna say Prince Edward, I guess. Prince Edward, he's a brave and honorable man, and royal blood runs in his veins. The coalition he's assembled is capable of winning the war for the crown. Interesting, but I have a different opinion. What if I told you that currently the most powerful man in the kingdom is... So depose me. Yeah, see, I called it. You speak with the lords on behalf of the crown, and they make agreements with you, entrusting their troops to you. Resources of Chippenham and Greenwich are in your hands. The army that stands beneath the walls of Windsor, hardened in the battles of the town, is obeying you personally because it was you who assembled it and led it into battle. There are not that many troops at Windsor, but you have carte blanche to assemble them. The Prince and the Earl have allowed you to create your own army, and in part at their expense. It would be strange not to take advantage of this opportunity. And what are you getting at? Well, if you already do all the work for the Prince and the Earl, negotiating, forming alliances, gathering armies, and storming key towns, then why not just take it one step further? And do all the same things, but with a crown on your head, and without listening to someone else's instructions. You suggest... Yes, I suggest you become king. Agree. Agreeing to this proposition means betraying Prince Edward, the rightful heir to God's chosen king. Agreeing to this proposition means becoming a master of destinies, ascending the highest peak available to man. The old king was foolish and inconsiderate, and, as a result, plunged these lands into chaos. The young prince gives nice speeches, but continues to drown England in the blood of internecine wars. A bit more, and there will be nothing left of the kingdom at all. You say that Prince Edward was chosen by the Lord as king, but is that really true? He was not anointed to reign. His father died an ignominious death, and his own subjects turned their back on him. The kingdom the prince inherited from his father is crumbling like a sand castle. Prince Edward's true power extends only to the confines of the capital, where he is forced to take refuge while waiting for others to win his war for him. He is a king without a crown, a king without power, a king without a kingdom. Now look at you. Chosen by fate itself, a man from nowhere who by his own valor and fearlessness has earned himself a place beside the powers that be. A man to whom the prince and the earl, ironically, have entrusted great power that they could not bear. What is it, if not a sign? You have been chosen by the Lord. You should be the new king. Alyssa's words sound convincing, but you don't particularly need to be persuaded. Your entire short yet extremely eventful military career has been nothing but one endless and dizzying upward surge. Behind all the princes and the earl's recent successes have been your ingenuity, your courage, and your spilled blood. And now, in London, these two still need your help. Their success still depends on you, but not yours from them. Alyssa is right. The throne of the kingdom is right in front of you, and all that is left is to step forward and take it. And you decide you're ready to take that step. Yes, this is a betrayal, but the end, as is well known, justifies the means, and the winners are not judged. Especially if the winner is the king. Virtue lowered by 75. Also, even though your actions technically are treason, are you actually the villain in this story? After all, it was you who have saved Prince Edward in the streets of Cambrai. Ah, here we go. Okay, so basically, okay, now this is where everything starts to add up, okay? So pretty much the series of events in the first couple of chapters and the decisions that you make, they are going to give you virtue in this recap section, right? So basically, if you save the prince, if you, what else can you do? Save Bartholomew's life, spare the peasants around Eva's estate, buy stuff from Eva, because obviously she says, you know, to support the people around, you know, go to the marketplace and spend 150 florins, you know, that stuff. Spare DeRoche. We obviously did not do that this time, which is indeed a bit of an issue, I guess. And give all the medicine to Cecilia, I think, because she also has a bunch of soldiers that need saving, as far as I remember. And then, what else is there? Well, I mean, at that point, I think that's it. Let's see. You spared peasants when Northampton sent you out to gather provisions and gave you full carte blanche for any actions. It was you who has helped Eva's people earn their bread. Oh, look at that. The plan you and Alyssa devise is simple. Use all available resources to gather as many men as possible in a short time at the camp under Windsor, then move swiftly on the capital to arrest Prince Edward and Northampton. After that, you're supposed to act on the situation. You remark that there are no royal regalia in the capital, so you won't be able to get crowned immediately, but Alyssa dismisses this, stating that such a chance should not be missed in any case. According to her, the fact that Canterbury currently owns the regalia does not make him king, and so their absence won't hinder you. The main objective is to seize the throne and secure it by the right of the strongest. Everything else, including any official ceremonies, can wait. All right. As soon as you arrive in the capital, you are immediately summoned by the Earl for a discussion. Sir, depose me, how great of you to stop by. I've heard some interesting rumors about your affairs in Chippenham, and if those rumors are true, we now have one ally less. The man who received promises of friendship and mutual aid from me, and more importantly Prince Edward, lost his head to your sword. That's not how things are done. I hope you had a very good reason for acting that way, and you're about to tell me about it. This was revenge on Duncan, sire. That scoundrel had threatened Alyssa's life, and after all he had done, I couldn't let him stay alive. Chippenham is now under my complete control, so this won't interfere with our plans anyway. Won't interfere anyway, you say? Well, I'm glad to hear it. Now sit down and listen to me, and listen very carefully. You're doing well in this war. I appreciate your contribution to our common cause, and I'm even willing to turn a blind eye to some of the things you're doing behind my back. But don't forget your place. I pulled you out of the mud and lifted you off the ground fairly high, and I have plans to lift you even higher, but I can also throw you back down. And I hope you realize that people usually don't survive falls from such heights. The secret to the success of our teamwork is that I make plans and you execute them. Let's not break this well-oiled machine, especially at a time like this. Okay. Look at that. You actually have the ability to tell the Earl about Alyssa's plans. We're not going to do that, obviously. We are going to convince the Earl of our loyalty. I'm pretty sure this is not going to work. Pretty sure this is not going to work, because I am almost 100% certain this is a virtue check. And I have minus 60 or something virtue. You can trust me, sire. I won't let you down. I trust you. Yes, virtue check failed, as you can see. But just so you won't get too dizzy from all the excess power, why don't you relinquish some of your cumbersome duties? Tomorrow, I will send Thomas Marshall to Windsor to take over command of the town and the camp. He will proceed with the recruitment on his own. And you just focus on Cambridge. And so depose me, no more spontaneous antics. Yes, so unfortunate for us, we no longer have Windsor available, as you could see right here, because of the virtue check. So that's a huge issue. And that's probably going to exclude us from the running for the king. As you can see, I have minus 10 virtue. I'm actually not entirely sure how I would have minus 10. But here's the thing. If, and this is a big deal here, if I had those 2 trinkets on, what I could do is I could, if I had actually earned more virtue with my decisions previously in the earlier chapters, I would have at least 40 or so virtue right now. And then if I took off those 2 trinkets with minus 30 virtue on each, then that would technically increase my virtue to 100. And that would enable me to pass any virtue check. So that would basically be the entire thing. That would be the way to do it. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.